Welcome to PWS United, a podcast for the Prader-Willi syndrome community, brought to you by PWSA USA. This podcast gives the latest news in research, advocacy, and family support by bringing together staff, volunteers, PWS treatment specialists, biotech and pharmaceutical representatives, caregivers, family members, and individuals with PWS. Our goal is to share education, awareness, and resources with those living with PWS and their supporters. Join us in our mission to enhance the quality of life and empower those affected by Prader-Willi syndrome.
Welcome back to another episode of PWS United. I'm your co-host, Annie. I'm here with Carrie.
Hello, hello.
And we're gearing up for the winter holiday break. How are you feeling about it, Carrie? You ready for it?
I'm ready for it. I won't lie to you, Annie. It's always bittersweet to kind of end the year and step away. I don't know. There's so many things I want to wrap up and so many things that are on my list that I would love to just solidify. But I know a necessary break is due and needed to just reset for the new year. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that. But
Well, good.
I always want to do more. It's just this weird thing in my brain. But I
Well,
will enjoy these couple weeks. Don't
yeah.
worry.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
I know you have some family home, right? That
Yeah,
you're going to be able to spend time with.
my oldest daughter is home, so we just spent the weekend puzzling and listening to creepy podcasts. So we're just looking forward to doing some of that. And yeah, I'm excited as well. It's been a really cool year at PWSA
Mhm.
with the 50th anniversary. It's been really fun to be doing the memories and learning about all that stuff. I'm also ready to move on
Yeah.
to something else, do something new
Yes.
with
And we definitely have things in store that are new or revamped.
yep.
And we're really excited to get those kicked off very soon here.
Yes.
We won't give a lot of it away yet. We have some thoughts and ideas for January. So be on the lookout. But yeah, we're both very excited. And I think the staff is as well. And I know at the end of January, we're all going to Dallas for our in-person staff retreat that we do every year. Just in a few days to get together since we're all remote and talk about our plans and each department's goals, just all the excitement and build up for the new year. And I'll be on the same page and give ideas. And I know we've mentioned it in probably many podcasts in the past, but it is where a lot of our really great ideas that have been implemented came from. So I always look forward to that. And I think it's something really to look forward to kick off a new year at PWSA. You know, we work hard and we do a lot, but we also get to have that connection and renewed camaraderie, which is so nice, so important, so needed, and so fun. So I
Yeah.
can't wait. I can't wait to do that again so soon.
Yeah, it's all of those things. I'm
Mhm.
really looking forward to it as well. And yeah, when you say that's where, a lot of our ideas come from, I always think about that Mexican restaurant, and that's where Ask Nurse Lynn came from. Like, oh, we should do like a Dear Abby kind of
Like
thing.
a
And
medical column, but
yeah,
with Lynn's face.
yeah, over burritos. That was
Everywhere.
lovely.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that as well. It's always good
Yeah.
to be together.
Well, to close out the year, we do have one more podcast episode that will be coming out next week, but this will be our last Pulse episode of the year, which is wild.
Yes.
It's so crazy how fast this year's gone. But this Pulse was sent out on December 19th. It was our volume 137. And to start off the Pulse, we wanted to share that there is less than 2 weeks remaining to support our 2025 Angel Drive campaign. So for 50 years, families affected by PWS have turned to us as a lifeline when a diagnosis arrives, when fear sets in, when answers feel out of reach. And because of supporters like you, help has always been there. Steady, compassionate, and unwavering. So, as we mark the end of this milestone year, we're reminded that the heart of our mission has never changed, and that is ensuring no family walks this journey alone and doing everything we can to help those living with PWS thrive. So, we're really close to reaching our Angel Drive goal, and we just really appreciate everyone who has donated so far. And it's just a little reminder to put out there that there's about a week and a half to donate yet if you feel inclined to do so. So, we'll have the link in our show notes for our donation link. And you can also find a very lovely Hope in Action video playlist that has just wonderful videos that our community has shared their stories and how PWSA has helped them navigate the ups and downs, everything in between journey of PWS. So we encourage you to go to the show notes to find those too. So just again, a huge thank you to everyone who has supported the Angel Drive. We are incredibly appreciative. And our PWSA Memory of the Week falls in line with the Angel Drive, which is really fun. We thought it'd be a good one to kind of go back and look at the fundraising history of PWSA. So as we again close out our 50th year and turn the final corner of our Angel Drive campaign, we wanted to look back at some of PWSA's fundraising memories. In 1979, the Gathered View announced the beginning of the fundraising discussion, emphasizing the growth of the organization and the need to raise funds to support the work. Up until this point, Jean and Fausta Dieterling, who were the co-founders of the organization, were handling all of the paperwork. And then fundraising chairman for PWSA, Marge A. Wett, asked the question, what have we done as an organization and as individuals? If I'm going to be successful as a fundraiser for the national organization, I need a board of directors and a full membership that is doing their part. She did not hold back. Oh, I love it. I love the confidence. It's great. In 1989, the Gathered View announced the launch of the annual Be an Angel fundraiser with the opportunity to receive $10,000 in matching funds if the goal was met. So it sounds like that was kind of when the Angel fundraiser, Angel Drive kind of came into existence, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little unclear because they were announcing the launch of the annual
Mhm.
Be an Angel
Mhm.
fundraiser, so I think it kind of began maybe a little before that, but
Yeah.
it was hard to find. I did a lot of digging, but
Yeah.
anyway,
It's a
so
good guess.
yeah. Well, and then it just kind of fit with the every 10 years. This was kind
Mhm.
of like a look at it every 10 years.
Right. No, I love it. So then the 1999 Gathered View celebrated donors for the various tiers of the Angel Fund. And from what we found, those were the Gabriel, Heavenly Angel, Archangel, and Cherub tiers, which is really interesting that they had tiers. I'm kind of, I would
Mhm.
love to know how they laid that out and what the different fundraising points were. But we did see that in a lot of the bottom of the Gathered Views. They would call out the people who were at these different levels in the Angel Fund. So it was definitely done differently back when, but it's so cool to read through the history. I am gonna miss this, Annie. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm. Yeah.
Just seeing
Yeah, I will
how
too.
things
Yeah.
came to be. Yeah, it's amazing. So then in 2009, this was really interesting. PWSA sadly announced the cancellation of the 2010 conference, and this was due to effects of the recession, decrease in donations, inability to secure new grants, lack of funds for families to travel to conference, diminished budgets for researchers and professionals to travel. Wow. And then in the 2019 Gathered View, it promoted that year's Angel Drive campaign as growing up rare and stating, of all the things you can do to raise awareness, few are more valuable and beneficial than telling your story. And in 2025, we are continuing the work set forth by the founders 50 years ago with far more resources than those original families had access to. We reach families in the PWS community around the country and in many corners of the world. We offer support for families and individuals with PWS, funding for research, education to caregivers and professionals, advocacy at the highest levels, and a place for PWS families to find connection and support. We are grateful to all our donors for their generosity and contributions to the incredible work done by this organization. And then our Spotlight on Hope for the week is a really sweet one submitted by Rebecca Woods, who is mom to Hayden, and Hayden is living with PWS. And Rebecca said, Hayden absolutely loves people. He's never met someone he hasn't instantly become friends with. He will ask family, friends, the grocery store cashier, etc. How is your day going? Did you have a good day at work? Did you have a fun weekend? We love how friendly he is and how he really listens to people's responses when he asks them these questions. He is such an amazing little boy. That is amazing. And these are the spotlight on hopes that I want people to feel like they should submit. It's every moment in their lives that we want to
Mhm.
see and know about. And as simple as just, your loved one being friendly to their local grocery store cashier.
Yeah.
I love that. So we'll have a link in our show notes to submit your own Spotlight on Hope. And we also encourage you to go to our Facebook page to see this post so you can see the photos of Hayden because he is so adorable.
Very cute. Yeah. Freya is very friendly as well. And reading this made me think about when we were in Guatemala and we had just gotten off the plane and we were in line for customs or immigration, whatever. When we had to go through, show 'em our passports. And Freya, has limited Spanish, very, very limited Spanish. But she was trying to ask the people behind her in Spanish if they lived in Guatemala. And it was just
Oh,
the sweetest thing. And of course I had to step in and help because they were, I could see I wasn't really paying attention. Then I turned around and I saw they were both looking at her, like trying to understand, and she was trying to say something. And I was like, okay,
oh,
what are you trying to say? But I just thought, as someone who I get very, very shy trying to speak Spanish, I just really appreciated her just feeling confident. And she did
yeah,
that the whole time we were in Guatemala. Just said, hola, ¿cómo está? To everybody. And, was just very willing to engage in a language that she doesn't really speak. So I
yeah.
thought that was really sweet. But anyway, it
That's a
reminded me
sweet
of
spotlight
that.
too. Hmm.
Hayden, asking everybody, how's your day? Just being really friendly and being these bright lights of connection and friendliness. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to move on to events. And the first one is a family zoo day for Florida PWS families. It's February 21st, 2026, which is so crazy. That's going to be 2026 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Zoo Miami in Miami, Florida. The Prader-Willi, Florida chapter is excited to invite you to a special family zoo day at Zoo Miami. You can join families from the Florida chapter of PWSA USA at 10 a.m., where together you'll enjoy a fun, inclusive, and community building experience as families explore the zoo's incredible exhibits and take part in engaging group activities designed to bring families closer and strengthen the PWS community. Admission is $10 for adults, $5 for kids ages 4 to 12, and children 3 and younger are free. And there will be a link in the show notes to learn more about that event. And we also wanted to give a little shout out to the Prader-Willi, Florida chapter because they now have their website in Spanish.
Mm,
So
so great.
yeah. So if you are a Spanish speaking family, or if you know a Spanish speaking family who is more comfortable with Spanish, this is a great place to go. And a link to that website is also in the show notes. We also have a recap and a thank you for a recent Hope United fundraiser, a bow for Anya Morella, Night of Music, Joy, and Hope for Prader-Willi Syndrome. So on November 21st, friends, family, and supporters gathered at the Mainline Unitarian Church in Devon, Pennsylvania for an unforgettable evening, a bow for Anya Morella, performance for PWS. The concert was a beautiful celebration of music, community, and love, all in support of PWSA USA. And our fundraising coach, Katie Martinez, attended the event and wrote a beautiful recap about the meaning behind the event name, the music played, and the intention behind coming to an event like this. You can read Katie's recap using the link in our show notes. We also have a thank you from the organizers of Claws for a Cause, and they just wanted to say thank you. Because of your generosity, we were able to raise over $20,000 to fund advocacy, research, and family support for PWSA USA. We're so grateful to have you as part of this community. And we just, again, want to say thank you to all of our organizers and hosts of Hope United events. We are truly grateful as always.
All right, moving on now to some advocacy news. PWSA USA recently participated in the Every Life Foundation for Rare Diseases Community Congress end of year convening in Washington, D.C. This 2-day gathering brought together rare disease advocates, policy experts, and community leaders to reflect on state level legislative progress in 2025, assess emerging challenges, and begin shaping a coordinated strategy for 2026. This was a great opportunity for advocates to build connections across the rare disease community, focus on access and reimbursement issues, and also discuss obstacles and advocacy efforts moving forward. As Dorothea Lance, our Director of Community Engagement and Mom to Hunter, states, advocacy is rarely a straight line. There are moments of progress, moments of pause, and moments like this one that call on us to reorganize and recommit. In 2026, we will take up what we've learned, strengthen our partnerships, and continue showing up because access, equity, and dignity for people living with PWS are always worth fighting for. And you can read Dorothea's full recap using the link in our show notes. We also have a powerful story submitted by our CEO, Stacey Ward, who had a very unique and exciting opportunity recently. So Stacey said, on Tuesday, I met with the New York State Assemblyman Angelo Santabarbara to shine a light on a growing and urgent crisis, the severe shortage of housing and sustainable funding for Prader-Willi syndrome specific residential programs in New York State. As individuals with PWS age into adulthood, families are finding that appropriate residential options, those with trained staff, consistent supervision, and an understanding of the unique medical and behavioral needs of PWS and the required food security in place, are simply not available. Without intentional investment and policy attention, too many adults with PWS are left without safe, appropriate places to live, and families are left navigating an impossible system with few viable choices. I was honored to be joined by Cynthia and Chip Whiting and Dan Milet, and I apologize if I said those names wrong, who are all parents of adult children with PWS, whose personal stories underscored just how real and immediate this crisis is. They spoke candidly about the strain on aging parents, especially those facing their own medical crisis, the lack of long term planning options, and the fear that comes with knowing your adult child's needs may outlive your ability to provide care. Their voices transformed this conversation from policy to people and made clear that PWS specific residential programs are not a luxury, but a necessity. We are grateful to Assemblyman Santabarbara for engaging in this discussion, and we remain committed to working with state leaders to advance solutions that ensure adults with PWS can live safely, with dignity, and with the supports they need to thrive. Thank you so much, Stacey, for doing that, and to those families for being involved and sharing their stories. What a powerful and important initiative to be involved with. And I hope that people hearing this maybe can think about doing it in their states, honestly. I know this is not specific to New York. This is all over the country that things like this are happening. So, very important advocacy happening.
Okay, so moving on to family support. The first one is our blog on adapting holiday traditions. So many mainstream winter holiday traditions fall short of being PWS friendly, and that is, I think, maybe saying that politely. But from leaving cookies for Santa and hot cocoa after ice skating to gingerbread houses and deep fried latkes, it can be challenging for some families to adapt these traditions to fit the needs of Prader-Willi syndrome. Some traditions simply need some small changes, and others may need to be discarded for new ones entirely. So, in this blog, staff and volunteers shared some of their practices and ideas on adapting and creating PWS friendly holiday traditions. And, this came up in our communications work group, and there's a couple older parents in there. And, there was kind of a mix of, some of
Mhm.
us were saying, like, you know what? we don't actually adapt. We just kinda know that, "Okay, this time of year, whatever, it
Yeah.
is what it is." And then other families, they make huge changes, and that's important to their family. So I just wanna put that out there just so that, again, a reminder that there is no one way to do PWS and that families do it differently. So if you are a family that hasn't taken hot cocoa off the table and that works for your family, then that's great. You can keep doing that. And if you are the family that's like, no, no sugar at all, that's great too. Whatever works
Yep.
for you. So just want to put that out there. I don't know. It seemed
Yeah.
important. But one of the things that came from this was our director of community development, Melanie Zalman, shared with us her adaptation of latkes. So I thought this was really cool. Well, she wrote a whole blog about some of the traditions that she was kind of concerned about when Josephine was born or when she was diagnosed with PWS. And then what does that look like with some of the traditions around Jewish holidays, latkes being one
Right.
of them because traditionally they are deep fried. But she has this great recipe for air fryer latkes that I thought would be nice to try sometime.
And look amazing. They look so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
The picture, like,
Well,
wow.
that's a picture from Canva, just to be clear. She did I mean, she sent me a picture, and they did look amazing, but, professional photographs,
Oh, I love it.
just look better sometimes. Hers were on a paper towel, which is more realistic, for sure, but anyway, I don't know if I can leave
They
that
still
in.
look great. They look great.
What I thought was really cool is I stopped at my friend's house yesterday to give her daughter a birthday gift. She's a good friend of mine and she's Jewish and usually she has us people over for latkes. She did it this year, but I was like, "Oh, I have a recipe for air fryer latkes." And she was like, "I saw it." And she was all excited. I guess she follows us on Instagram since I got the job here. But
Mhm.
yeah, so she was excited to try the air fryer latke recipe next year. So
It's great.
I'll let you know.
I love when it reaches, yeah, all corners of everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, it was really cute. And I have learned, here's a PSA. I made 3 Instagram recipes this week, and only one of them was good. And when when I showed my daughter, this one was like this chia seed cocoa powder mousse. It was like a high
Oh.
protein dessert,
Uh-huh.
like healthy.
Mhm.
And I made it last night, and it was like I putting the chia seeds in the blender with everything else, blending it up, and the chia seeds would not blend, and I was like, "It
Mm.
does not look like the video."
What's happening?
So I showed my daughter, and she was very disappointed that I couldn't tell it was an AI video.
Oh,
So
no.
she was like she
They'll
pointed
get you, Annie.
yeah, once she pointed everything out, I was like, "Look, I know that, like, pigs are not jumping on trampolines, okay? But I
Yeah,
thought
there's
that
some
this"
that are easy to distinguish, but
like
I think that would've got me too. That's really
yeah,
sad that you went to all that work just to
yeah.
to
I mean, it
find
still
out.
tasted good, but it wasn't the, like, chocolate mousse that the video showed me. Anyway, so
Yeah.
just so
Sorry. Goodness.
anyway, so now I gotta be careful with the, Instagram recipes because they don't always turn
Lessons
out.
learned.
So that's that. So yeah, I'll have a link to the blog and then also to the latke recipe that Melanie shared. It does sound really yummy. So yeah, check that out. And if you ever want to send an email to communications with like a recipe or whatever that's PWS friendly, that's awesome.
Yeah, we would love to put those out, like more of them. Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be good. And our nurse Lynn for this pulse was in regards to a male who's 22 years old with a deletion subtype. And his parents said, "My son was diagnosed with Prader-Willi when he was born. I'm wondering whether or not I should place him in a group home where he can get help. He's currently living at home and it's getting out of control with his weight gain and diabetes. Please help. Thank you." And of course, Nurse Lynn did help. She wrote a wonderful blog. You'll see a link to that in the show notes. You will also find a link to submit your own non emergency medical question. All right. And then I'm just going to jump into research here because we just have one thing to share, and that is the reflections on the end of a trial. And that is the number 6 entry in the clinical trial journey that I was writing about Freya and I going down to Santa Monica for the Tempo trial. And that is for pitolisant, which treats excessive daytime sleepiness. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I shared this here, but we were in Guatemala and it was 30 hours of travel to get back
Mm.
home. And then the next day, Frey and I had to turn around and get on a plane and go down to Santa Monica. And so it was our last trip to Santa Monica for the trial. Frey was very excited to like stay in the hotel room and have dinner and then watch TV from the hotel bed. Like it's just one of those exciting things. But we were so
Mhm.
exhausted. We went out to dinner and then we came back and we turned the TV on and I mean, 5 minutes later, I look over and she was just out. So she was she was a little bummed the next day that it wasn't this big event of like, "Oh, it's our last trip down to Santa Monica for this trial." But anyway, yeah, so the blog is just about kind of wrapping it up. You know, I have talked along the way about the I don't know about the emotional, but yeah, kind of the emotional journey of this, going from somebody who was like very questioning of pharmaceutical
Mhm.
companies, and I'm not saying that I'm not still, but I'm learning that there are some that
Baby
uh,
steps, yes.
baby steps. Yeah, well, I realize that the ones that we're working with are not like they're not like big pharma. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
they come to our events and they get to know the families. And so that's
yeah,
been really cool to see that side of the
right,
pharmaceutical industry, like the smaller names that are really trying to make those personal connections. So that's been really cool. And yeah, just wrapping up this part of the trial and we're moving on. We're continuing with the trial, but it's moving on to a different company I guess. I'm not really sure, but that's gonna look different for us. Like they're gonna start coming to our home, which would be nice to not have to travel to do this. But
right.
maybe there'll be another update somewhere down the road on what it's like to do a clinical trial from your home. I don't know. Anyway, if
I'm
you're interested,
interested. Yeah, I'm interested to know what the virtual at home looks like because I don't think it's been done, at least in our community before. This seems to be at least one of the first, if not the first time this has happened. And I've already heard great things from some other people in the community, but I think just as we're doing this kind of series with your family, Annie, if you can give your insight to it too, I think people would love to know what that's like as well. Because travel is a strain for sure.
it is. Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
kind of fun, but there were some appointments that we flew down there that morning. Two
Mhm.
flights, San Francisco, then to LA, and then turned around and flew back after
Wow.
the appointment. So I don't miss those days.
No,
But
that's a
that
lot.
that was a lot, and I didn't have to do it that way, but that was me trying to keep her in school as much as I
Hmm.
could, so
That's right.
but now we're gonna have, like, a nurse come to our house and do an EKG and a blood draw, and I don't know what that's gonna look like. I mean, I have dog hair everywhere, like, I don't know how sanitary it is. I'll have to
The
vacuum.
inexperience. Yeah.
I'll make sure the dogs are outside.
There you go.
So, I'll let you
Just a
guys
little
know.
prep work.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Annie, for sharing your insight into this. I know that people have appreciated a personal account, I
Mhm.
think, of a full clinical trial experience. And yeah, it's just you opening up your, I don't know, experience and your thoughts and feelings and the progression of kind of how you've grown and how Freya's
Mhm.
grown through it has been really cool to see. So, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for being intimate with us.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we digress. So,
Yeah.
we have one more section to share. That's our announcement section, and we have a resource spotlight. And this one is tips and techniques for a safe holiday season. We know that our families may face many obstacles and frustrations to having a safe and joyful holiday season. How to navigate gatherings with food, manage behavior issues with disrupted schedules, find ways to enjoy the holiday spirit with PWS can be challenging. For some valuable insight and suggestions on how to navigate this time, you can read our blog, Tips and Techniques for a Safe Holiday Season, and we will have that link in our show notes. And it really, I think, is a helpful tool if people
Yeah.
are getting close, to the holidays or or in them right now and just need, somewhere to turn to get some sound advice at navigating this time. That's a really good tool and resource. So I recommend it if you are having some questions. And
Yeah.
I will say, as we're in the holiday season, we're at the end of the pulse here. It just kind of ties in with this resource. Our PWSA crisis phone line is available literally every day, even over the holidays. 20 literally 24/7 all day every day through the holidays. So please if you have questions, if you are experiencing any issues, if you just need to talk to someone, talk through something. But we are here. And I just want to make sure people know that, remember that. And the phone number, as a reminder, is 941-312-0400. And I think, Annie, we could put it at like the top of our show notes just as a
Yeah.
reminder. Just a little call out to that. And shout out to our family support team who is helping families. Go team.
Yes.
Any final wisdom to impart
Mhm.
on us at the end of the year, Annie, getting into 2026?
I don't know if this is wisdom, but I thought this was really sweet. So on the winter solstice, my family and I, we do this kind of ritual where we write down on a piece of paper what we want to let go of from the previous year, and then kind of what do we call in? What are our intentions for the new year? And I would, I guess my wisdom for the new year, maybe I'll say, came from my therapist recently when we were talking about how to have conversations with people that we disagree with, which I think is something that is getting more and more challenging these days. But she said, stay curious.
Mm.
And I've been thinking about that so much. I think we can make a lot of assumptions in our lives and our daily interactions. I think that people make assumptions about people with PWS. So, they hear a diagnosis and they think it must be this way or that way. I love that advice of just staying curious and along with that, staying open to empathy. So,
Mm.
as we head into the new year, if we can all just stay curious about each other and why are we doing the things we're doing or I think specifically as a PWS parent, like, or, why our person may act a certain way, just stay open to the possibility that it's not what you think it is. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all. Am I? Not.
Yes, I get it. I'm benefiting from this. I feel
Okay, good.
like you're imparting wisdom on me. Yes.
Yeah, and so I won't say what Freya said, her intentions and what she was letting go of, but it was just really beautiful
Mm.
what she said and what she wants to call in for the new year. And I'm just constantly surprised, even myself, even having been in this PWS journey for 14 years now and knowing Freya, I can get stuck in those ruts of like, well, that's PWS or it's going to be this way. And Freya consistently and constantly surprises me. And
Mm.
so I think, just be willing to be curious and be surprised. And I just think that makes life a lot more colorful and friendly, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I
What
love
about
that.
you?
I love that, Annie. I think just along those lines, similarly, we do something at the end of the year where we take it from Seinfeld, honestly, but we air our grievances.
Love that you got it from Seinfeld. That's awesome.
But we have to follow it up with something that happened to us this past year that was wonderful. And so it's kind of that reflect on something that maybe you didn't love that happened or something that you just kind of want to get off your chest, but then follow it with, but I'm very grateful or I loved that this happened as well this year. So I think you're onto something. I think people should take some time to do something like these. Maybe, set an intention, write something down and burn it or throw it away that you want to let go of. I think that's a really good message to leave people with. It's beneficial for us. We do it every year. It's really nice. And it really does help you feel closer to your loved ones who you're doing
Yeah.
it with as well and kind of get inside of their heads and hearts a little bit. So I love that you said that so that I could echo it. So let that just be a nice message to everyone out there listening to do something similar if you choose to. It's very therapeutic. And your
Yes.
therapist is onto something.
Thank you for listening to this episode of PWS United. If you want to learn more about Prader-Willi syndrome and how PWSA USA is making strides in advocacy, family support, and research, visit www.pwsausa.org. And while you're there, we encourage you to sign up for our Pulse email newsletter to stay informed about the latest news, resources, and events. Don't forget to subscribe to the PWS United podcast so you never miss an episode. Our team is always available to support families and their loved ones living with PWS 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You can call us at 941-312-0400 or email info@pwsausa.org. Catch a new episode next Tuesday, and until then, have a great week.